Well, you may know our next guest as a cheetah girl, the lead singer for the multi-platinum R&B group 3LW, and as a co-host on the new talk show pilot, The Real.
And now she's starring in the new movie, I'm in Love with a Church Girl. Actress, recording artist, and television personality, Adrienne Bailon.
Hi.
Welcome to Arise 360.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Loving the lipstick.
All right
Thank you. It's my first time trying it, but I love to try new things.
It works.
It works. Yes,
Thank
it does.
you.
And I hear your new movie is working as well. I'm in love with
so
a church girl.
excited about it.
It looks great.
It is.
Now, we know you fall in love or fall for the bad boy, so that makes you the church girl, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us more about the plot.
Okay, the plot is pretty much, I think the great message in this movie is that, you know, God can use anything or anyone to change your life. And I think in this case, Gally Molina, who is the writer of the movie, it's actually based on his true life, loosely based on his real life. And in this case, Ja Rule, the only way he'd ever step foot into a church was by being invited by a woman, which I think for a lot of men, they might agree with that. If that's not really their thing, they're not a Sunday church goer, get invited by a woman who you're interested in, that might, you know, get you there.
That'll get you saved. Yes, I was like, thank you, Lord.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's pretty much the premise, and pretty much that his life does change through the movie, and you get to see that there is an underlying message of faith and hope, and yeah.
Okay, well, we have a clip. Let's take a look.
Awesome.
You smiling about?
Oh, God.
I'm not, I hate trying to belittle your feelings. Like, I'm sorry. You're just so off. Like, so off. And to be honest, I'm a little relieved. Because I thought you were actually keeping something from me, something ugly.
I won't be getting all happy just yet. I haven't told you why I feel this way.
It doesn't matter. God doesn't care about what you've done in your past, what you're in the middle of right now. He just wants you to come as you are.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
Yeah, I will go to church with you too, speaking like that.
Thank you.
Come as you are.
But I think it's a really great message of, you know, I think
Is that what appealed to you about the script?
Absolutely. I grew up in the church. My mom is superintendent of children's ministries in my church. My dad was a worship leader, so I was actually raised Pentecostal. So for me, my church experience really helped mold who I am. I started singing in church. That's where I learned to get into the arts. I was in every single church play you could imagine. I sang at funerals, weddings, you name it. But that came from a church family, and I think that was great for me growing up. So yeah, reading the script, I was like, you know, after everything else I've done, this is just something small I can give back to God for all the opportunities and the blessings that He's given me. So,
well, amen to that.
Yeah.
Now, besides yourself and Ja Rule, Stephen Baldwin as well as T-Bone are also in this cast. So
love me some Stephen Baldwin.
tell me about the energy on set. It must have been crazy.
We had so much fun filming this, and although, you know, some of the script was a little heavy, but we had so much fun doing it. And I think that the fact that a lot of us are believers, Stephen Baldwin has now been saved, I think, for about 12 years. And so just us talking about those sorts of things on set were amazing. Even now promoting the film, we went to church on Sunday. We attended CCC, which is A.R. Bernard's church in Brooklyn.
Wait, Ja Rule went to church?
This is what I'm saying. And then after that, we went to Hillsong, which is another church.
My church, I love
Yes, we went to
Hillsong.
Hillsong. We attended 2 of the services. I had
Which
the
one?
best time. We went to 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. No lies, 5, 7, and 9.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we had such an amazing experience. And I think that what's great about it is that even someone like you said, Ja Rule was in church. He enjoyed it thoroughly. He had an amazing time. He was there with his wife. And I think we always tend to think of religion as like this thing, like, oh, it's got to be uptight. You obviously attend Hillsong. It's literally like young people who just love God, who want to feel that energy, and they go there and they have a great time. It's like a rock concert.
It is.
And it's done in Irving Plaza. And we were there, and literally Ja was like, this is cool. Like, I could do this. And I think that with seeing this movie, I think young people are going to feel that way again, you know, that they're going to feel like it's cool to love God. There's nothing wrong with having faith. There's nothing wrong with believing in something and finding a deeper meaning to life.
It's nice. So next you'll be coming to my church, right?
What church is that?
St. Luke in Harlem.
I'm not mad.
Okay.
Invite me. I will be there.
All right, putting it down.
I'm a New Yorker, so I'm here.
This is her
Okay.
interview. She's
All right,
here to
fine.
plug
Okay,
her
go ahead.
movie.
I know, but I'm
not
here,
your
and I've been
church.
attending a lot of churches, so
Okay.
invite me. I'd love to go.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Okay, back to the interview.
Thank you. So you first came to the spotlight in 1999 with your group 3LW,
Yes.
and after that, Cheetah Girls.
Yeah.
Why did you all disband 3LW?
Which 3LW actually disbanded because it was almost impossible to do 2 groups simultaneously. And I think at the time we saw a huge opportunity with Disney and doing the Cheetah Girls, and we were like, let's be honest, I can't play 16 for the rest of my life, whereas I could go back and do 3LW as a grown woman.
Will you reunite?
You never know. Anything's possible.
Destiny's Child did it at the Super Bowl.
That's
Could a
true.
3LW album be in the future?
You never know. But I think for us, we saw this opportunity to do the Cheetah Girls was an incredible opportunity to send an amazing message of girl power. And I have to say, probably one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life, more than anything I ever thought I would achieve, with the clothing line at Sears, Game Boy Advance games, toothbrushes, clothing line at Sears, my own Barbie doll. Like, coming from the Lower East Side, I never, I wanted to be a singer, but I never thought that, I'd have my own Barbie doll. You know what I mean? And
How
with
did you land that gig?
Yeah.
I went to an audition.
Really?
I was in 3LW, and pretty much they were like, okay, well, Disney is doing a movie about a young girl group. Why not we have a young group 3LW come and audition? And I went and I auditioned for the part. I did horrible. And till this day, I always say I owe my acting career to Deborah Martin Chase, the producer.
She's a big deal.
Executive producer. And she saw something special in me, and till this day, I just thank her and love her for that. I walked in, I had never read a script before in my entire life. So I actually walked in and did the audition, and I read the instructions. You know how they're in parentheses, it'll say,
Act like this.
Dorinda, I love you so much, walk across the room. I actually read the walk across the room and give her a hug. And she was like, they pulled me aside and she was like, go outside, I'll read it with you and we'll let you come back in. And that was my first audition ever for acting. And I just was so grateful that she was like, from the moment you walked in the room, I knew you were Chuchi, which was my character, Chanel.
Wow.
And that's how I got that role.
And it was huge. I mean, it was
I had
a
to
franchise.
sing, dance, and do the acting role
So
for
do
the
you
audition.
really have to
Wow.
work anymore? Don't you have that Cheetah Girl money?
Yeah, the residuals must be off the hook.
Thank you. But I'm not mad at that. But being a Latina, I'm a workaholic. I love to work. I think every time you achieve something, you want something else. You want more. You want to keep striving for new things. Obviously with my nail polish line and now doing this movie and hopefully the reel. So, yeah, I want to do it all.
You're doing a little bit of everything, including
try.
everyone knows you from the reality show appearances you've done, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You were Rob, Kim K's brother's girlfriend
Yes.
in that
Once
series.
Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. Okay. So what is the family like off camera when all the cameras go off?
They're amazing people. They're a lot of fun. They're great people. I've never said about, they're great people. My issues were in my relationship have nothing to do with what my relationship was with the family. And I loved them. They embraced me. They embraced my family. And we had a great time.
You got his name tattooed across a
did.
certain body part.
Not the smartest thing at all.
Do you regret that move?
Absolutely. I think I'd be a liar if I'm like, you live, you learn. No, I absolutely regret it. When I was getting my laser tattoo removal, holding onto the pillow, I definitely was like, why did I do this? But what I will say is that I lived, I learned, and hopefully that somebody younger than me who's thinking of doing something like that will hear my story and say, you know what, not the smartest idea.
Yeah.
So is it all removed, or did you turn it into something else?
It's removed.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually learned, as you get older, you learn more about yourself. I'm not a tattoo girl. It's the only tattoo I've had, and I probably won't be getting any others.
Okay, what about the one behind the ear?
You can't even see it.
That counts.
Can a camera zoom in on that?
No,
Do
they
you
won't be able to see it. Tell us about it. It's a white tattoo.
It's actually a white tattoo,
Right.
so you can't really see it. It's actually a cheetah paw.
There you go.
And all of us
that's
on
cute.
tour got them, and yeah, but you can't see it. I literally find myself trying to tell people, no, it is there, so I don't really count it.
You don't count it. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
you
fair.
can't even find it.
Have you met Baby North?
I have not. I have
Really?
not, no.
Oh, when will you be meeting her? Do you all still keep in touch?
We do keep in touch, but at the same time, I think certain things are for family, and as friends, you have that respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to move on to the real. Now, you recently
Yes.
co-hosted this a summer run of the show. It was out. I mean, it was amazing. You have an amazing cast of superstars on the show.
Really good chemistry.
Right.
We do. We're absolutely insane. You get to really know me on this show. And I think obviously I've done interviews now for the last 15 years. I've been in this since I was 15 years old. I'll be turning 30 this year. But you never really get to know somebody unless they're in a comfortable setting like this show. I literally would forget that there were cameras on. I mean, you know that there's an audience there, but you get so comfortable in your seat that we'd just feel like we were having girl talk. And then when it would air, I'd be like, dang, why did I say that? But I tried not to see the show when it would air because I never want to edit myself, and I think that that's what makes the show so special.
Yeah, and spontaneous.
And people keep saying, well, why do people love this show? What is it about? I think it's the fact that we really do keep it real. Is this some new genius format? No, it's been done before. A table, people, you say your points of views. And I think what makes it different is the cast. What makes it special is the cast. I think they casted really, really well, and we get along. You feel the chemistry, and we just lay it all out there. We don't hold anything back.
So what about the cat fights? There's got to be all those women on one set, there's got to be some cat fights. Come on.
We actually have not cat fights, but arguments on the show about our points of views. It wouldn't be an interesting show if we all agreed on everything and we're like, yeah, girl, yeah. No. Tamar and I actually usually get into it. We get along incredibly well off camera. We're probably the two girlfriends that go out and dine together and those sorts of things. That's like my hangout girl. And we have difference of opinions. We'll literally be like, oh no, girl, try me. Literally we'll go back. But then
be like, lies you tell.
Exactly. And then we finish and I'm like, she might be right. But I think that's what makes for a great entertaining show, and that's what makes for a real conversation. Do you agree with everything your girlfriends talk about?
No.
Or everything they do, or who they date?
Nope.
How they date?
Nope.
Exactly. Have you had conversations at dinner where you want to get up and walk out?
I have.
Well, there we go. So it's
Good
a
point.
normal thing, and I think
I've had conversations here where I wanted to get up and
Very
walk out.
true, very true.
see, so it
But
gets
I never
heated.
have.
It's entertaining, and I think at the same time it's very relatable because girlfriends at home feel like they're watching themselves with their girlfriends.
So will the show get picked up? Tell us. We need
Come
a
on, what's the inside
What's the
story?
inside scoop?
I am sworn to secrecy.
Oh, come on.
But I'm sure there'll be an announcement by next month.
By next month.
Well, you don't look sad, so that's a good sign.
You're right. I think we know.
I think the outpouring of love that we got from the show was amazing. I mean, the ratings were amazing. Obviously, it's now a final decision of Fox, but at the same time, I feel just happy when I talk about The Real because for me it was a breakthrough.
Yeah.
It was a breakthrough for me as a woman.
Really?
To finally
What do you mean by
I
that?
feel for a long time I was misunderstood. I think a lot of people had a misconception of who I was.
What did you think they thought about you?
I think sometimes even with the association of the Kardashians and that sort of thing, I think sometimes people misconstrued that. I think obviously they don't know them personally, although we all feel we do. I know them personally, I know they're great people, but I think sometimes those things can make people be confused by who you are. A lot of people actually thought I was born and raised with a silver spoon in my mouth from LA, which is completely incorrect. My mother still works at Cornell. I'm a very hard worker. I support my family, and I think a lot of times people would be like, well, why is she walking red carpets? Those kinds of things, well, what does she do? And I think for a long time I was like that would hurt my feelings, and I would try to get out there that I do this because this is how I make a living. This is how I support my family. This is what I love to do. I love to entertain, and I think this gave me a platform to finally allow people to really see who I am, to get to know me, and I think that made a world of a difference. My favorite tweets were, girl, we couldn't stand you, but now you think you cool. I was like, thank you, I appreciate that now that they've actually gotten to know me.
Well, I think as we've been able to see you grow on television and the movies and everything, I think one of the things you've done very well is transition into an adult. Because a lot of people go through that stage, you're going a child star into an adult very awkwardly, or just, let's put it out there, Miley Cyrus, Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes. What advice do you give to them for the stuff that they're going through that you didn't necessarily fall into?
I think for me, having a great family foundation really helped me. Like I said, I never had a mom that was, trying to be my manager, or even trying to be in this industry. If I worked at Rite Aid, my mother would be ecstatic. If I worked at Starbucks, even better, because there's health insurance and stuff. She, that's the kind of family I come from. They could care less about fame, or my mom actually is just more about stability. She's always like, if you want to come get a job at Cornell, I can hook you up. And I think that kept me stable because I never felt the need to be famous or the need to, for me, there was no pressure.
Right.
If I wanted to go home tomorrow, I can go home and live an amazing, happy life. You know what I mean?
You can't do that because you have to show us this nail polish.
Yes, because you're a hard-working woman.
Yeah.
I am.
Entrepreneur.
So what is this? You have your own nail polish line?
Bring some of them
I
up
do.
on the table so we can
It's
see
actually
some of these.
a luxury vegan nail
pretty.
polish line. I decided to go vegan because when my sister was pregnant, she was she is a vegan herself, but when she was pregnant, she literally wouldn't even get a manicure because she felt that the toxins that are in a lot of the mainstream polishes, they have formaldehyde in them, and a lot of them are toxic. And she was like, I don't want any of that, and obviously having a baby, and she really, really was trying to do the vegan thing, and I I commended her for it. I looked at her crazy. But when I found out that you can actually do a line that is vegan, the quality of the polish is just as great, if not better. And I love the colors. I actually named my first collection called Made in NYC because I was made in NYC. And all the colors actually represent a part of New York City. This is probably one of my favorites. It's a gold polish. It's called Fingertip Fetish. You can get it online on www.fingertipfetish.com.
Great.
And the colors are all named after things in New York City. This is called El Barrio, which is like Spanish Harlem. The red reminds me of my aunts who always wore red nail polish.
Yeah.
This is Hail a Cab, yellow.
Nice.
Metro Metallic, like the trains.
Cute.
Trendy Soho is hot pink. BK, we go hard after the Brooklyn Nets.
Got to.
Exactly. Then we've got BX Bomber, which is like the Yankees.
Yeah,
it's
of
metallic
course.
though.
That's nice. So it's a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like those sassy little names.
Thank you.
And vegan. All right, so
Yes.
now we know about the nail line, and now we know about the movie I'm in Love with the Church Girl. It comes out October 18th, so make sure we catch that. Anything else you're working
theaters.
on? Keep us posted.
Music.
Music.
I know. I will
back
be
in the
coming back
studio?
to music. Shocker. But no, I'm excited about it, especially with the reel coming out now and people knowing me and knowing my points of views. I think it is now time for a little bit of music to come into play. We've waited long enough, and I'm excited to get back into the studio.
You want to sing us a little something?
What am I going to sing?
Anything you want. Sing us to break.
Sing about your nail polish.
Oh, wait.
Take
I
us to
can't
church.
remember it.
Take us to church.
What are we saying? What's
This Little Light of Mine, Amazing Grace. Look.
this little light of mine? I'm gonna let it shine.
amen.
Oh, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I just recently posted an Instagram pic with a light shining. I said, "Oh, this little light of mine."
Amen.
It's a good song.
Well, thank you for being our light
you.
here
You guys
today
are
on
so
this
much
show. And good luck with all your ventures.
Thank you.
All right. You're watching Arise Entertainment 360.